Rise, you wretch, at least upon your knees. Look, you've left an impression on the earth. The full, foul tide of dawn will wash away. And what is it that greets your ancient eyes on this first dawn of peace in 10 long years? One thought the age of miracles was past, but the sun seems to be rising in the west, as if the whorish world has turned in bed to show her face to her victorious Greeks. Enough. You've lost your wits, now lose your wit. That line of fire upon the western strand is not sunrise, but torches borne by Greeks, all born to burn the unmanned towers of Troy. There, Hecuba, you hear? It can be said. Now shall I wail upon this wet, salt shore, or shall I moan against the whipping wind? Or shall I mourn the corpses in the doors about to burst and send their sizzling blood across the stones of undefeated Troy? Troy, keeper of the gate from east to west, whom Asia and whom Europe tribute paid for her wise worldly wit and her wide walls, which stood till last night's onslaught. Here come tears to crawl triumphant down my stone-like face, then steam in that chilled wind that beats the sails of those Greek ships. Oh, women, see how they swell, tugging against their mast, mad to inhale unhallowed dead men roasting on those stones. Oh, eager ships, how shall Greeks hold you back for long enough to load slave women on? The treasury of Troy is not enough, not rich enough to hold their bellies down. They rear up in the harbor, ships in rut. Hold, hold, your captains will be coming soon to winnow out us women, and each claim his hoard of Trojan women, Trojan whores, old widows, orphans, drudges, Trojan slaves. Not sons nor husbands, but sufficient wives to wait you in this blood-tinged bay and hold you steady as you turn to canter home on tides of undefended women's tears. Why do I kneel before this sacrilege? Why lift my corpse up high enough to kneel on shattered shells of sea beasts whose lives end to cut the knees of women where they wail? Fall, Hecuba, fall down, face down again in that cold, hollow mold of Hecuba you can hide in again. Lie down and die. But why? Why not use now to learn to kneel?
Your Majesty, what are you doing here? I searched all the women's huts for you. She's here, she's here. We woke to find you gone. Come now, rise from the sand. Let me help you with my common hands. Red rumor had you dead, drowned in the sea, dashed down the cliffs or drained pale by some Greek blade, or even fallen to face suicide, strangled by your hair or monstrously clawing your heart out with a smuggled sword. Come rise, come back, come in. Let them see who huddle in their rags alone afraid. Queen Hecuba was alive and well today.
I stand up like a doddering flagpole stripped of its banner. I like a scarecrow to frighten cawing vulturous Greeks away. No, you kneel too. Kneel down and tell them all to grovel, fall, and kneel. No, do not kneel to me. How dare you kneel to me? What do I rule? Those ruins where flames and fat rats scuttling now from interrupted night-long greasy feast. No! I command you, do not kneel to me. But let me kneel where there is yielding sand to beat with these hard hands while I intone. I am a widow that was last night a wife, childless that was a dam of a royal line, captive insane upon this frigid beach that was at sunset, mistress of warm halls, and I am a pitiful slave without a name, queen yesternight of all unrivaled Troy. Oh, women, count no man happy till he's dead.
Oh, Hecuba, great queen, great lady, great mother of great men, you should be proud. You must be proud enough to shame us all. For this 10 years against a plague of Greeks, wisest of warriors, your husband Priam, stern Hector and glad Paris, your tall sons, let my meek husband and all Trojan men against a siege more formidable than any ever seen by war-worn earth. We would be worthy of them, but we need you standing as our guide, as Priam stood, staunch and unyielding when his men would sway. What would your weak dependent women say to see you humbled on your knees this way?
What will the women say if they are wise? If they are wise, they'll say, bear no more sons. Let Mother Earth bear what she thinks is wise, but I will bear no soldiering men today. This they would say if they were ever wise, but they are not wise and cheer waste-laying men. What will the women say if they are strong? If they are strong, they'll say, give me a blade, give me a rope, give me a poison skull to scald my guts that I might die in pain before I let a man pump seed in me to make more women who must bear such woes. This they would say if they were ever strong, but they are weak, and soon upon the decks of those tossed ships they will roll under Greeks, and reasonable wounds will gulf Greek seed ovens to bake madmen, make women mourn.
Anguish has maddened you, and most we want your royal wisdom and most sovereign command. O God Apollo, her great strength restore. Olympian healer in your halcyon sphere, look to this suffering earth.
Look to the sky. Look, Lord Apollo rises in his east, thrusting his arms through early coils of smoke and pioneering vultures. Oh, surely now our Troy will resurrect like a shamming boy, and all its bones and stones billowing tugged together to be Troy. What? Not yet. No miracle. Come, God, vanquish the heathen. Reward this woman's faith. Blind, burn the foe, blaze back the Greeks' great God. No. It's Trojan women you make mad. Queen Hecuba mad to think Troy is in ruins. This woman mad to think herself a slave. Her husband gone, her starving queen alone, screeching among the seaweed on her knees.
Now blasphemy issues from you like the rank discharge down madman's chins. God is our goddess overthrown. Weep, women, in your huts. Weep for yourselves. Weep for the waste of Troy.
No, not of Troy, but Greeks, my daughter, Greeks. There are no Trojan women anymore. In our men's blood we were rechristened Greeks. I have not even subject daughters now to take the place of those I gave to Priam. For I, that mothered Troy, cannot say this. Daughter, you may not take that man to bed and be his wife, or yes, my blessing. Go, follow him to his bed and bear him sons. These Greeks, when Troy is gutted of its gold, will come for you. Pitch dice, draw lots, make riddles, and whichever one has won you, take you away to ravish on the waves, or even here, haul you from line and have you in my sight before the eyes of other wailing women, kiss you with mouths that called your husband's dogs.
That I, a common woman of great Troy, who thought it a blessing twice in a good year to glimpse you in a festival parade, gorgeous with flowers in bejeweled state, or watch you waving from your balcony, authority's icon, Hellespont's gilded queen, should come so close to hear you curse and scathe the God that guarded us for war's decade. The husband king that held the beasts at bay. Your valiant sons as warlike, and to denounce even the living memory of tall Troy, drawling in smoky swirls such hideous pictures of our near future to make hope drop from me like an aborted child. Is there no hope?
None.
No promise?
No.
No dream?
Bad dreams. Or good ones that seem horrible when you wake reeking sluts on mats of straw, hobbling with chained feet to make a meal for the pig that fell on you the night before.
Women of Troy, come and be counted now. Concubine cattle by right of wanton war, stagger weeping from corrals of bondage, trembling shove aside the ragged skin that masked your prison's door. Hungry and shivering women of Troy in line, stand, gaze, see the mistress of your mind, a ravening mad dog whom we have adored. Hecuba, queen of Priam, star of soul, she whom we aped and studied, longed to be, whose various gown or ornament imitate. Hecuba, who set fashions for each season, whose full life was model for us all, again as she did always, showing us what we must next become. Come, Trojan women, shaking like aspens, with blank eyes and necks, scarcely able to hold your necks up. Master yourself to bow to your queen's will. Her will is that we utterly submit to fate that seemed impossible last night. Pay her the homage due your rightful queen, and fall in hopeless bitterness in these weeds.
Oh, daughter still, the only ones I have. See that I do what I can do for you. What can I do but shake you like bad girls and say, give up those frivolous, foolish dreams that you were once dear daughters, mothers, wives, hopeful girls with suitors for your hands, obedient girls with fathers you've heard to please, spirited girls whose mothers spanked their hands, yet smiled remembering their mothers spanking theirs. You are nothing now. Believe you never were. Life till last night was dreamed. Wake up to fate. Life is a punishment. Life was always grim. Love was a lie. Freedom a fable for slaves. Nothing is yours. Nothing was ever yours. You stand alone, the helpless slaves of winds, indomitable as weather and old age. Greeks are not men, will not be men to you. They are sun and rain, volcano and tidal wave, nothing you can control. You are not women, but toads and monkeys, fleeing fits of God. That's the best good that I can do for you. Be grateful if chained with your baby daughters, if needed still to nurse them like a saddle, or grateful if they separate you from them so not to see them bred to bleeding shame. For everything be grateful, and for death if it comes quickly, gratefulest of all. You see, I set no fashions for a fall.
Oh, Hecuba, forgive my shocked rebuke. You still are mother to this Trojan throng. Where kindness would be cruel, you still are kind when cruelly you inure us to cruel blows. We'll kill all hope like a virulent disease with all the nursing skills that women learn.
Kill hope, that monstrous child, and think like slaves.
But look, here comes a Grecian soldier now. Oh, has it come? Is even waiting done? Suspense that seemed unbearable just now seems suddenly like the divinest peace compared with that approaching certainty. Let it wait a moment. Turn back time. An hour, a minute, a second, the least part of the leap of a heart or the tick of a gummy eye. Peace it was when famished, gaunt, and chilled, we clutched each other in our nauseous skulls and whispered what might happen.
Lose the past! Apollo's rising in the smudgy sky. He will not turn.
We've lost the chance to die.
Remember, no hope.
I remember no hope. It was only a tear ago.
But like a dog beaten 1,000 times that drums its tail when the master nears, I cannot restrain my plea. I was Hecuba, man. What news of my daughters for me?
Sure you are. And I'm the virile Hercules who fertilized 50 priestesses in one night. You are Hecuba! I saw you on the walls dressed all in gold watching our false retreat that fooled you, man, and led to our ultimate victory. I wrote my girl how beautiful you were. More beautiful than the legends of you. I thought I'd never meet a queen, and you a beggar now.
Beggars are free. We slaves watch beggars passing and we sigh. I was the gaudy queen upon the walls watching your heroes feed her sons to curs. I am your suppliant now for any word to set to rest the spirits of my girls.
Well, I've got a job to do, but I suppose I wouldn't mind if I take time to tell you. Your daughter Cassandra was not among the dead. MENELAUS, our chieftain, sent us men to search. We washed the face of every female corpse, and nowhere was the priestess of Apollo.
Who knows her face? A sacred cloistered virgin, hid from men, she never walked the walls.
We found her image in a cameo around King Priam's neck upon the field.
I never knew he kept that. From those rags left of his body that had been dragged round the city's precincts, tethered to a chariot, you could pluck out a jewel without disgust.
I saw the locket when we loved his body to lay it on the altar of Apollo, defiling it to turn the god against you.
So, common soldiers saw Cassandra's face.
Oh, I'm sure she's safe. Her face is strange. You wouldn't want to kiss it.
She was made mad by Apollo for deceit. He loved her and gave her the powerful gift of prophecy.
Well, why would any girl deny a god?
He prized her honor, and with his prophet's gift foresaw all the ploys of his impassioned wooing.
A fool to shun a suitor with such power. Smart girls love strength. So he took back his gift.
No, but he poisoned it. No one believes her.
Well, when you deny a powerful lord, you get punished. Which brings us to business. Queen Hecuba, I'll deal with you. I've been sent by MENELAUS to gather the women.
Are we to be drawn and distributed by lot?
You common women will, by us common soldiers. After the leaders have made their personal choices.
Menelaus chose Cassandra for himself?
No, her he means for his brother Agamemnon.
Agamemnon, he's married to Helen's sister.
My daughter to Helen's sister for a slave. I hope Apollo raped her into heaven.
Menelaus himself has chosen you.
I, an old woman, he means to dishonor my bones.
No, nothing so base. Yet, nothing noble neither. He says he means you for a kitchen slave.
No, not our queen.
Be still!
That's to say nothing.
Not you, new lord, I meant for my woman. Be quiet.
This is too awful. No matter how strong you have made me,
If I can endure it, see that you better your lot. Do you spy lot? Do you see how his eyes flicker toward you? Young, kind man, and my other princess daughter was proud Polyxene among your tumbled corpses? Do not hesitate! I know you have other business than heralds or kitchen helpers. Tell me quickly.
I did not find your daughter Polyxenia.
Your tone tells me you know, though, what has found her.
I did not see her, and I'll say no more than that. Now leave me be. I've got to fulfill my mission. Hear me now, women of Troy! Now draw together. See if Cassandra's in disguise among you. Menelaus will be here soon to take her. We common soldiers will come then for our pickings. You, lift your head. Why don't you wash your face? When I come back, if you're pretty, I might choose you. You'll be better off with me than with some, I promise.
Quiet, daughter. Be demure. Your bridegroom appraises.
We Greeks are just men, you know. Gods were with us. That's what war's all about. There's no need to hate us. Your men would have done the same.
you think my husband...
Go on away, soldier. Come back when you're finished. No one here will mistreat you. You pause and falter. Are you struck still by love? Or is it that you have still other news to hurt our cheerfulness?
You haven't asked for your daughter-in-law, Andromache.
Andromache? Hector's wife is not surely living.
As living as I am and chosen by one great general.
My daughter-in-law did not leap to her death down slanting Trojan walls when she saw Hector, his head fought for by Trojan soldiers' dogs.
She's in the camp. I saw them getting her ready. They said she was coming to say goodbye to you.
The gods have answered your prayers, if there are gods.
I won't stay and hear you blaspheme. There's loot to distribute. Oh, one other thing.
You needn't tell us that the war is over. We Trojan witches have ways of dividing.
I can't condemn you for your sarcasm, but be careful. Menelaus doesn't go for it. Be good to him. He'll be good to you. He said for you all to tell Helen to get ready. But wait till I tell my girl I met the queen.
Helen is still alive.
Yes, great queen, we gave her a hut of her own.
From honor or dishonor?
I don't know, it seemed the natural thing to do.
I had forgotten why we fought the war. Some corner of my mind had said, what matter? It had assumed the beautiful bitch was dead.
Don't trouble yourself more, mother. Be glad of your daughters.
One mad and vanished. The other, whatever that man said, gone to some fate too horrible for even a stupid soldier to relate to me. Glad for my daughter. I am glad for unborn daughters, for sterile eggs that poured out of me monthly when I was a fool and in my breeding prime.
You told us to forget.
Forget? Cassandra, wandering somewhere among the military rabble, doubtless by now raped, murdered, her tongue cut out to prevent her screaming rape while no one listened, believes me a God knows what, and there is no God. And Andromache, still alive, a strong young woman who might have ended her life. And asked you that? Her singing little son, is he alive? Hector's son, my only living grandson, forget. Your hollow women, if in you there does not live anger at all these men and gods and wars, let me fall into ashes along with Troy, if ever for a minute dragging slop jars across a kitchen where fat slaves spit on me, I forget this anger like a raging pit ready for sacrifices in it, for what time and matter have made of Troy today.
Mother of all, I cannot leave you here raging while I go to tell Helen to ready herself for Menelaus.
Oh, do go and tell her. Tell her the man who killed all the men of Troy and most of his own to regain her is coming across a beach squeaking with kelp and rotting jellyfish. Tell her the conqueror of Troy has at last rescued her. Tell the kidnapped Aphrodite her lord comes in squishing procession to reclaim her hand. Tell her that drove my lovely son, Prince Paris, mad with desire to navigate her here to this war on women. Her husband is coming. Tell her to paint her face as fair as it was 10 years ago when she swept in, a pestilence. Tell her that gave the decree to our executioners, her master executioners on his way. Tell her she need waste no time on powder. Her terror should be enough to paint her chalk. Say Menelaus is coming to kill her. For that's what cuckolded husbands do in her Sparta. Leave me alone. Make no prolonged protestations. Go and find Helen and see that she's brought here alive. I want to fall into the earth, split by spear points, or smoking to death and steaming on this beach.
Mother!
Who calls me mother? Cassandra!
Mother of Hector. Grandmother of my son.
Andromache. Hold me close. Oh. No. Let me go. Oh. Forgive me, Priam. I saw you 40 years a king of legend, making decisions that made an empire move. And now I do not know to hold this woman and clasp at all that's left of noble Troy, or fling her to the ground and call her traitor. Andromache, just now I vilified you, cursed you to be still living, and yet the heart I thought had turned into a coal of vengeance has leapt to see you. How can we know what's human will to act on when the world has turned and all poles turned towards?
My husband's mother, alone and unattended.
All protocol is banished. We are not royalty, only property up for choosing now that the game's decided. But you look right royally. That's the garment you wore when we married you to Hector. And those, the jewels he gave you that blessed morn, your little son was born in Troy's war. And who has done your hair? Are your handmaidens still that served you? Andromache, you are a living vision of all that last night died without embalming. What has happened?
Mother, they took me to a royal tent. No man was allowed to come near me. Baths and perfume and cushions and such fine food as we have not seen in Troy since our besiegement. All these were laid out, and Grecian women served me. Then this I was told, to leave the tent and come to you here to say our last farewells. Oh, Hecuba, in this insanity, how shall we part? Clearly they mean me for some Achaean king. You do not wrap a present thus for paupers. How can I live and go into a bed where I am dishonored? My boy raised by the leaders who killed his father. What am I to do? On my wedding night, you led me into your private bower and told me with kindness how to win your son to be my lover as well as my husband. No mother could have been so gentle to me, nor in these years when I was by our Hector could I have wished any more compassionate advisor, blessing my progress, patient but stern with failings, raising me so it seemed to walk beside you. And then, when inevitable time should change our places, to be the queen of Troy beside King Hector, with all your grace and dignity as my right. You've been my guide, my leader and protector, the kiss consoling, the touch admonishing. Who held my hand when Hector's son came howling into a world in a war we knew we'd win? Whose other hand was in my mouth to fight back the screams unseemly to a prince's mother? The sturdy claw, skinned and scraped and ringless. Mother of Hector, Astyanax's grandmother, friend, teacher, deity, teach me how to live.
Oh, daughter, true daughter, though adhered to this flesh not drawn from it. Kneel with me, Andromache, nymph of love. Could you not have, how shall I say it, I mean no chastisement, could you not in some interim moment have taken the tiniest sliver of silver, some cutlery or knife carelessly left by a handmaiden in a fruit basket? Could you, the heart recoils to say it, but couldn't you? Listen, I whisper it, for I cannot cry to Olympians I can no longer conceive of. Andromache, could you not quietly have died? My tears would have soaked the planet, but could you not have? All servants can be bribed, why any jewel twinkling about your person could have convinced some slave girl or hairdresser to lay you down on your fair face, a pillar to have held, tapped, tightened, restrained, even against your disloyal body's buckling, which I am anguished to imagine, for the sudden chilling filling of which I would howl for revenge from all armies of righteousness by Andromache. Andromache, could you not have died? It is easy to say for me, for whom any instant might finally quench the fire of life, and I be dead without fearful moment. Oh, I know, it is easy, it is hard, it is impossible, but it is possible. Could you not see it, not think it? Might you not, darling, in some swift way have died?
Oh, Mother, I would have died and left you longing. Oh, yes, rather than be here now in this world without reason. I would have eaten coals or drained my body's blood into their patterned carpets. Can you doubt me? I who have known the greatness of your husband, the greatness of mine, the greatness of a city hanging in haze around us. Do you think I would face this sunrise over its ruin? Do you think I did not suddenly see each object as a weapon against my continuation? Each person humbly passing through that harem as my blessed deliverer? The desperate grown new eyes that see the dangers others shun as delightful as flowers springing from a field's grass. But those same eyes that looked for the way to nothingness saw also that sweet godling, Hector's offspring, the child of our love, the last son of your line, the heir we were brought together to engender, our darling Astyanax, playing at forks with cushions on the rug, his little face bright gleaming from fine food, his eyes that have seen devastation to daunt a god gleaming with delight at the bright and pretty things around him, and so I live. Oh, Mother, do you forgive me? Can you teach me to forgive myself?
Ah, hope. Hope is delirium in me. Andromache, rise. Let him not see us down moaning. I, who have lived to rise the sorriest woman in the world today, to criticize you who have borne the greater burden. I have lost the past. You lost the fabulous future, and you have endured to tend its only promise. Forgive. Can you forgive me for even dreaming of dragging you into the hopeless hell I rule?
Come and kiss grandmother.
Little child with hands like Hector's, white at the base there. See, Andromache?
I see.
And something of his nose?
His very nose.
And is there not some gentleness in his eyes? For all children are ferocious. As that Hector showed us all his life? Even when back from a day of war's harsh carnage, that gentleness that he never forgot and fought to restore us to.
Oh, his father's face.
Don't cry. You must not cry. You are to be queen yet. Perhaps they will unite the Trojan kingdom with the victorious empire of the Greeks. Perhaps you will hold the throne I trained you for. Perhaps someday little Hector will rule all, not only the Troy we once knew, but the larger kingdom his father would have left him had he won.
Oh, Hecuba, your face lights up with hope. This is the face I saw when I came to Hector.
And here they come to take you. May they be swift and take you away before my false faith crumbles.
Gods can show mercy.
Perhaps there still are gods.
Andromache, wife of Hector.
She would stand tall and proud before you to show her little son how royalty stands. I am Andromache. Tell me what you will.
Andromache, I've come to take you now.
I will go with you.
Is this your little son?
This is the son of Hector, the line of Priam, Apollo's heir to Troy's most splendid throne.
I've come to tell you to tell him to say farewell.
He has no language yet. We have said our farewells.
Look, I don't like to do this.
Take us away. Before our tears break loose, have you no heart?
Look, I'm getting tired of people asking me that. Soldiers have to do lots of dirty jobs. They say they have to be done. I don't know about that. I don't make decisions. I have my orders. I've come to tell you...
Whatever you come to tell us, say it and go.
Look, you're not queen now. Don't make this harder.
How dare you, Andromache? This is my portion. Let me bear it as you must bear your own.
I will be silent.
I've come to take you to your future ruler.
May I know his name?
can't even pronounce it. You know our great hero Achilles?
I know what he was. I saw my husband kill him.
That isn't the version that they're giving out. They're saying he was slain by sorcery.
It's flattery to Hector to replace him in myth by magic.
Well, for because your husband killed him. Though don't say I said so.
Your secret is safe with me.
They say that you're to belong to Achilles' brother.
Belong to the brother of my homeland's greatest foe? But I know of the man. He already has a wife.
Yes. He said that you're to be his whore.
Oh, Hecuba. How could you think me good? Like any foolish girl, I took these trappings to be a sign of honor. Instead, they have been put on me for mockery. Hector's bride's marriage gown, Astyanax's mother's natal jewels, to be ripped off me by a broken trade for his brother's lawful death in battle. But hush. I must never say such things again. Thank God my child has not yet mastered speech. He will grow up never hearing that I am shamed. Take me. Please. Now.
Well, that's the other thing.
I must wait here? Well, Hecuba, our little show we promised to each other of brave and hopeful faces to feed false hopes will have to end. I must wait with you. And I fear before they come for us, we will fall into weeping and growling and calling each other names. Kiss me now, and let us swear that whatever unkindness we might do to each other as we wait will not matter. Let us try to believe it. Andromache, our herald's face is flushed and sweaty, and his boots dig into the sand. He has something more to tell us before he goes.
Yes, ma'am. Menelaus says for you to say farewell to the little boy.
You speak to me or Andromache?
Both, ma'am.
They would not take you without him, a double prize.
So? So you should say farewell, for you'll not see him again.
I knew that, child. I told you I am a seer.
God damn it, ma'am. Can't you hear what I'm trying to tell you?
Your language is foul, and so are you.
Well, I'm not a whore. Or a kitchen bitch. Listen, Menelaus has decided your little son must die.
What? How much higher must the sun rise before we know that all is evil? Where's Menelaus? I'll go to him. I'll get to him. I'll get to him. I'll praise or curse any god or demon or hero. Forgive me, Hecuba. Remile my husband denounces it. Whatever he's trying to get me to do, I'll do it. There's no death to which I won't lower myself.
Boy, he's a smart one. He said you'd act like this. He really knows your royal types. He even said you'd give yourself to me if it would save your little boy. It's no good. He's already announced your son's death before all the assembled generals.
Oh, come on.
And they cheer him. He's not one to give up anything they cheer him for. So get up, please. Say goodbye to him. Forgive me for the way I talk. This is hard times.
Be still, Andromache. Astyanax, come to Grandma. Oh, yes, my darling. It's all a little confusing, isn't it? Kiss Grandma. Just let me hold your hand, so like your father's. Here, take it. There's no point in delaying. Delay will only make it harder. Kiss him and
Oh, no. The princess is to come with him.
Is it blessed death for me, too?
No. But they want you to see it.
Andromache, there will always be a way, a high window, a cliff, a noose, servants, no poison. If you are lucky, perhaps his wife will kill you. Take her and go.
Yes, ma'am.
How can you not run yourself through and die with your face in the mud before you do this thing?
Okay, Grandma. I tried to be nice to you. You know your daughter who you were so worried about?
Cassandra?
No, the other one.
Policeman?
Yeah. Well, a dozen soldiers raped her. They raped her, and beat her, and cut her stuck-up throat. They raped her and killed her across Achilles' grave!
Death of children. But we're all somebody's child. Not only the innocent baby. And what mother would not laugh to hear her tyrannical baby referred to as innocent? Every man that slaughtered and was slaughtered around the walls of Troy was somebody's child. Had been held on a lap and dandled, thrust against a breast and fed, held across the lap to teach it fine deportment, and still it came to war. Polixia was my least favorite child. Hector was marvelous, taking all the prizes, bringing me last animals from that great day. Paris was beautiful, would he had scars, kissing his way into and out of trouble. Cassandra had strange beauty than the shock and terrible glamour of her tragedy. Polixia was a happy, bright leftover. We never loved her much. She expected nothing. This could not have surprised her as it would some others. But all this is trying to hold back the colored pictures rising in my mind like ancient gables thrust up by an earthquake. Oh, God! The innocent girl dragged to a graveyard, flung over filthy clods, burst, broken, entered. She who had known no images of love but Troy romancing Helen, and crying, gasping, clawing her muddy red robes down from modesty, her glorious hair jerked back by some coarse soldier roaring, thus we avenge Achilles, while Achilles, we killed you and your lover. Are you avenged? I'm ashamed to feel mere rage and guilt and horror. And what Greek pigsty will my sorrow rise?
Hecuba, I mourn your daughter for you. You have borne more than we could ever know. Pitying you, I rise above self-pity, so you are so great to the Trojan women, if greatness atones the power of God for you.
I would I had been born too little. How sweet to care for nothing but my own morals. To spend each day playing at being good. Pleased enough when I slept by a workman husband, if I have not beaten my children, stolen money, deceived my husband, or been to my mother cruel. Oh, to have idols who live vicarious for me, whose sexual scandals in marriages, family quarrels, great celebrations, majestical decisions, hovered above like clouds or constellations, lords on the towers, ladies on festival floats, the kings and queens attending the sacrifices, the prince and princess flaunting their wedding crowns, celestial puppets, moved not as you think by great Olympian gods' manipulations, but by the whims of you mobs and arenas. Yes, you create us kings to entertain you. As helpless as birds in cages, actors on stage. Astronomers say the stars move all our actions, but I deny you now where I am prophetic. The minds of men determine the course of stars. I say it is somehow the fault of the people that Helen seduced Paris alone. For the people, Greeks made a covenant, and armadas assembled. Hector pulled on his helmet and full armor, and the war for the Hellespont raged for 10 long years. As a lover's bride beloveds with hot kisses, to be the idols that their lust envisioned, you pay us with pomposities and thousands to make us slave romances for your thrills. We monarchs pay the poets to conjure gods, so we in the doomed idleness of idols may have such fictions as you force us through. You make us puppets when you make us proud. You make us wanton. You make us make war.
I have deserved none of this. I am all guiltless of wishing you other than well. But I will tell the others of your madness and urge them to be forgiving. You move in realms of knowledge unknown to me, but I am unknown to you. I want war? Never. And if your son brought Helen home, what was I to do but enjoy to see them strolling, both blonde and in snow-white velvet along the walls? Would you rather I had risen up and shot them down? Set myself to be morality's vengeance, led a great crowd to the castle walls and demanded her repatriation, his dishonor, and no war? No! We left that to you. We trusted you knew what was right for us. You, after all, accepted the hand of the king. He accepted his crown. He stood above us and called for all the men of Troy to keep Helen ours. No, I am not to blame. If I know nothing, I know that much. I never made this world, nor yet remade it. But I am not one to chide you. You know secrets. This warning has made us all mad, and so excuses your words to me, mine. And I suppose whatever words will ensue between you and that soldier returning now, bearing some puzzling burden.
That man again. What a huge connecting role he is constructing for himself to tell as he sits all fat and crippled around some campfire telling the new recruits. Yes, I saw Helen. Yes, I raped Polixena, humbled Hecuba, slaved Andromache, saw the gold of Troy. Is it that he bears within his arms no ragged robes to shame me? How much worse can there be than this I wear?
I bring you mourning robes. MENELAUS thought it fit.
Ah, then, the ape has some etiquette. What else is this that lies beneath? Sweet God!
It's your little grandson that you may lay out and mourn.
Heaven, constables, how arrest beds. Oh, God, look at his little limbs. Heaven protect us, how did he come by these great abrasions down his little limbs?
No man was willing to put a sword to the child. He set him loose to crawl on the highest walls. His mother watched as he saw a twittering throstle warbling to guard its nest. As all birds will, it attacked and flew outwards, drawing the great invader from its eggs. He reached for the fluttering mother, and so fell downward, finally against the slanting great stoneworks.
Oh, this Andromache saw.
Her new owner held her firmly facing the ramparts. Whether she closed her eyes, I cannot say.
And all that time my words of admonishment echoing in her bejeweled ears, Hecuba chiding that she had not killed herself,
Neoptolemus took her off to Thea. That's Achilles' brother's name, and that's his kingdom.
I know the name of the place where she is taken. But which of us knows where this little boy has gone? And what else is that? What else have they had you bring me that lays across your outstretched supplicant arms?
This? This is the shield of his father, Hector.
Oh.
They thought you might want it to bury with the child.
Oh, let me see. Oh. Are you sure this was not your doing? A kind thought on your part to atone for your child.
Yeah. I wish I could say it was, but MENELAUS or somebody must have already thought it out.
The sorrow in your voice does you great justice. It makes me think you are down deep a tender man.
Don't find me cruel. I never am cruel to women.
If you have water, let me wash your hands.
I have water here. But they washed them before they sent them.
Such gentlemen. There is fresh blood here. He must have lived for some time from his race. Here, I'll tear a rag and wash the hair of my robe. Ah, yes. Lay there, little kinglet, let grandmother be. You ought to have grown to do my funeral honors to lay a wreath upon my coffin. Watched by the eyes of your caring, cautious mother as you mounted the steps, and your hair would have been cut for mourning. And instead, it is I that do this for you. Stroked the small leg that would have been long like your father. Wash the fine brow that would have been lined like mine. And we grow more to look like our forefathers as we never. And this little hand, wide like the hand that held the walls of Troy until last sunset. Still giving the scent of his father's battle script. Why, here's a ribbon I gave him to take to battle when he was just young and not even knew Andromache yet. He carried his mother's scarf to battle. Until the end, he carried my scarf to battle. My own shoe. Here. Cover him somewhat decently with this sad rag. From these little loins, this undeveloped acorn will flow no light. No sons with the hands of his father, no little girls with the proud long neck of his mother, no one in the dimmest distances of his sense with a little of old Queen Hecuba's dark brown hair, or the line of my lips, my full one. Bury him near the wall. As near as the heat and smoke will let you come. Bury the last of Troy near the first of Troy, and let it all into anonymous human molder. Take him away.
The Greeks, they came on seas of salt, on seas of blood they sailed.
And we sail with them. I hope he is kind to you.
I know you do. I never believed your hatefulness.
What is that flash of metal? Are they fighting amongst themselves? They come this way. Dear gods, do they mean to kill us women now?
Let me look for you, Queen Hecuba. Why, no, it is one lone woman. Queen Hecuba, I think it is Cassandra.
Cassandra! Still alive, old Priam's daughter, still to be held, one piece of my flesh to be.
Be brave, great queen. This spell is well upon her. In her madness, she has plucked a weapon from the field.
Oh, where is he? Where is the brilliant god? Where has he led me? Apollo, I am yours.
Take the weapon away from her before she hurts herself.
Oh, it is dark. Dark, women. When will the sun rise? When will this night's eye open and show us the splendor of Troy? Its slanted stonework bathed in the light of Apollo's celestial orbit. Oh, Troy has been baked by this sun like ceramic. It could not burn. Surely I had a bad dream. They tell me all my prophecies are ravings, and I saw Troy burning black like garbage. Human beings popping like grapes within it. My sister jammed in a soft, fresh grave. My brothers dragged to pieces like logs, thrashing in rivers of blood, their heads like boulders rolling when earthquakes dislodge great monuments. My father's body dishonoring Apollo's altar. My little nephew bounding in space and scraping the blood of the house of Troy across its faces. And my mother screeching blasphemy into smoke where vultures circled like servants at a banquet. Oh, this was a terrible dream, I tell you, women, and I am glad to know that my gift of prophecy, that bribe thrust on me by a lusty god, has finally failed. When this most Stygian blackness that has somehow overwhelmed the sinful earth is finally lifted, and Apollo, god of lightning, takes his promise and rises to light the Hellespont, I will be glad to know my gift has failed me. Why is it always night? I know. I've wandered clear to the frozen north, where sailors tell us the nights are half a year. The sun itself frozen like a great ship frozen in a harbor, and life itself stops for 2 whole seasons. As life has stopped. As light has stopped. I know those Greek sails that so chafe on the horizon are my first false vision. And that town, like Troy, seething out smoke from every stonework cranny, that is false. And the soldiers loading the carts with gold and jewels, even the very vessels of the temple, that is a nightmare. And Andromache, bride of my brother, on a cart like so much more brave booty, jouncing down to be loaded as more cargo for a land called Thea. That is a delusion. Helen, in a tent of untanned cowhide, washing a mask of virtue across her face. That is a fantasy. But we always gave her the finest rooms and servants, and now I think I see my very mother, Hecuba, tall as a tower, always sheathed in palest yellow, and rings on her fingers, but now bent and disordered, wearing rags, her narrowed eyes and thin and fleshless lips fighting back wails of haggard lamentations to see Cassandra, Apollo's mistress, babbling out such madness. Speak, phantasm. Speak, mad simulacrum. This is a dream, and in dreams I hear my prophecies. This is the dream I dreamed last night, and now I seem to be walking through it. But men have always said my dreams are false, and now I hunger to agree with them. This is a dream I'm only having twice. Say that it is. Or no, that would be a prophecy, and my prophecies come true, so say this is real dream images, and I will know that you are all mere mirages. Apollo, send me a dream that the Greeks are sailing defeated, that Troy is not marked within my charmed rubble and without my infant's blood, and I will believe it though all men say nay.
Cassandra, have you wandered all this night?
Not all this night, for night is still upon us.
Alas, my daughter, blank white days upon us.
You are having visions. You inherit your daughter's affliction.
Cassandra, you are blinded by the sun.
Alas, that is the symbol of my sickness.
You are here, daughter, and in my arms.
Fresh blood and death between us. Holy mirror.
I'll take you in my robes to make you warm.
Covers with mourning, black as night.
There's nothing left, my daughter, but each other.
For how long, mother?
Until the very end. For when we lose each other, then there's nothing.
If that were true, we should part with great pleasure.
For all this morning, I have been like the witches we tell about in stories that change from witches to birds and fishes, animals and wind clouds. I have been changing from woman to woman, Hecuba to Hecuba, pretending to be sad and not to be, wise and void of wisdom, numb and, no, not numb, but as sensitive as propriety would like me. All this morning I have been trying on Hecuba, seeking for one to fit this ceremony, and now I do not know what I am feeling. Oh, but I know in my arms is my Cassandra, the last leaf left. Oh, help me to be Hecuba. She's no one now but Cassandra's mother. Hush your raving, daughter, be gentle.
Mother, the luxury of identity is woven of certainty. And what I dread is what I am certain of. If I could comfort you, I would be certain. But if I am certain, I have no comfort for you.
Your mad dreams not leave you pointed.
Yes. I see nothing now. But that is always the moment I am most fearful. For it always presages a fresh onslaught of visions.
If you have true visions, why did you not warn Father?
Mother, I saw it all, yet held my counsel.
It was your duty to share Apollo's foresight.
When I have done so, no one has ever believed me.
Wicked girl, to withhold the deity's warning.
Would you have believed me then, if I said Achilles would break his strike against battle and come so strongly he would rout the Trojans?
If you had counseled calmly, you would have prospered.
Or if I'd said Odysseus, the clever Ulysses, would fill a giant horse with soldiers and leave it before our gates as a peace offering, and that soldiers would drag it in and close behind it the gates they thought were keeping armies out, and that in that night Odysseus and his minions would stream like equine blood out of that monster and lay the seeds of waste they've made of Troy. Who would believe me?
Cassandra, Cassandra!
Would not believe me if I so simply say, our side will lose this war? Which all couldn't have been fantastic. When I said all the line of Priam are dead and was condoned a madwoman? Then, when I say that a Spartan whore and a wooden horse will be the beginning and end of the end of all, will I expect proud patriots, arrogant officers who suppose it would take God's lightning bolt to dislodge their rightful crown to accept that a hollow doll and a hollow horse, seduction and deception are their conquerors? Mother! There is nothing misloving men hate like the truth. Oh, women all, I tell you, age and drudgery wait for you. Yet I know there is not a one of you not sure she will pull her captor, make him love her, find a pot of money, have an heir to millions, become a famous Hetera, rise to govern and be forever young. Apollo's curse was but an afterthought, mere recognition of a simple fact, that truest prophecies are the least believed. Oh, I tell you, they will kill men down through time who dare speak facts exact, until they learn that no one ever listens. Then they will turn and allow free speech to all, knowing that it makes no difference, that the world rolls on in its dreams, only adding to the awards it gives itself for being beautiful, innocent, and hurt a new laurel. I must be great. I am misunderstood.
Daughter, daughter, you are overstrung. Rest on my bosom.
I cannot hear your heart.
There it is. You ancient lay beneath it.
I cannot hear your heart.
Quiet your sobs, they deafen you to solace.
I tell you that I cannot hear your heart.
The death you presage would be too gentle a blessing. I know I will die in alien lands alone.
I hear your words. I cannot hear your heart.
Is that Cassandra?
I see a waiting woman.
Is this Cassandra?
I see a purple rug.
Leave us. She's weary.
I see a bath of blood.
I've been told to take her to my lord Agamemnon.
He cannot have her.
I see a swinging axe.
Menelaus' brother.
Yes. Once it goes to sleep, the heart goes.
Agamemnon is married to Helen's sister. He gave her a daughter, pitiful Iphigenia.
Soldier, be merciful. Say you should not find her.
The winds were lacking to bring the Greeks to Troy.
Hecuba, there's a terrible punishment if
The
I fail
winds
to bring her.
demanded the death of Iphigenia.
And a great reward, I suppose, if you know her.
Agamemnon cut her throat upon the
Do
altar.
you blame men for making the best of necessity?
Clytemnestra, his wife, waits to avenge her child.
Oh,
Her ex-swings wild, and I am the second victim.
Cassandra.
Mother, be calm. The vengeance of Troy is crying.
Hear what she says. He'll whip you for bringing a mad girl.
Mother, be blessed. When the ships will sink by dozens.
Hush, Cassandra. He'll whip you for voting this
Mother, be still. Why, the gods are laughing in heaven.
Daughter, don't leave me still raging or not.
Why, there will be wars among winners. Death waiting for victors. Oh, I never knew vengeance was sweet, but it is like an apple. Oh, sooner or later, Greeks rule the Mediterranean, but only after some centuries, sibilant bloodiment, and the disappointment of all their ideals of themselves. And then, a brief golden age where they kill their great thinkers and sink in a scandal of awful hypocrisy. And in the end, the tale of the rulers of Troy will all alone live as the scale of beauty, dignity, honor, the ancient noble way.
Come with me, Cassandra. Agamemnon is waiting.
The blow falls on him first, smothered in bath towels.
Sweet gods, give her peace if you hear me.
Mother, the axe swings! Sweet heaven! Mother, the sword thrust! Mother, don't let him take me!
Oh, God.
God, the generals of Greece are impatient.
Mother, Helen will live. Menelaus will suffer.
You see, she's mad. Menelaus will crucify Helen.
Mother, this war began with a sacrificed daughter.
No. This war began with a hateful strumpet. Loathsome to men and women, obvious and cheap. It is she who brought this on us. Not parents negligent humanity from obeisance to the gods. They will not listen, or they will not believe, or they will not believe because they do not listen. Oh, lies, lies, lies. What Cassandra says, what I say, what the oracles and history preach. Why not live legends, walk on well-laid myths, play predetermined roles, cry when we walk into walls that the walls are not there? But where in the songs the poets peddle is there a model for a woman ruined? Hopeless, aimless, lost all the best things in the universe and only the worst to wait for and scant shreds of that. Oh, in this mist of smoke from raging Troy, I have lost the last sight of my daughters, my grandson, my city, myself. Will I decide what mask a queen would wear if such a blow could hit her? And it has! I know now who to be. I am Queen Hecuba. I know what she would think, what she would do. The queen I was last night cast off this morning.
Where is she now? The ship girls humming their anchors. My soldiers are stiff at attention. We've just this execution and we can go home. Where is the criminal? Where is the adulterous woman? Where is Helen? What have you done to my wife?
Menelaus, ruler of Argos Strand, Queen Hecuba thus welcomes you to Troy.
You.
Where's Helen? I've come to take her back.
You take her back after all she's done. My daughter said you would. I called her foolish.
I meant to retrieve her.
Your ship waits to sail her home.
Are you mad? You think I'd let that hussy enter the hole she slimed, betraying me with your son? I'll have her stoned.
Well, that's a sure way to bring her to your presence. Cry it louder. Helen! He's here to stone you!
Send her out, women, or I'll bake you all in your hovels!
What a relief that we thought we must live with Greeks.
Listen, you ancient baggage. If one of my chiefs had not seen you scrubbing his privies, I'd tear your ligaments out with these 2 hands!
Speak louder, master, so the poets may hear.
All right. I forgot myself. The war is over. The barbarism, the horror, the killings are over.
All killings but one, you mean.
You're bloodthirsty as the fool who burned your city.
Are you not here burning for Helen's blood?
I'm not. It's only the law of the land I fought for.
How many words Greeks have for killing women.
You are not Queen of Troy today, Queen Hecuba. I do not have to answer to you now. Oh, woman, be quiet! I have no quarrel with you. Leave me alone. This is an historic moment men will judge me for till time's interment.
Helen! Tarry no longer! Come and confront me!
Helen! Come face the brave new king of Troy!
Forgive the delay. I was not told an exact time. Hello, Menelaus. Thank God you come back.
Take your hands from me! Look at you! Shameless harlot!
One does the best one can in times of war. Have I neglected something in my toilette? Am I not beautiful enough to greet my savior?
Savior? What are you saying?
I don't want to hear it!
Helen. Helen of Troy, these long 10 years.
Oh, God, you don't know. Please don't make me tell you what I've been through. Help me pretend that it's all over. Even pretend it never really happened. Open your arms and take your Helen home.
That I should see this side of all possibilities. You who betrayed my trust, our marriage vows, a woman's oath to Hestia and great Hera, and every shred of decency that keeps us from being mere animals, bellowing, racing on mountains. You should be standing there trembling and praying swift vengeance. And what do I see? Among these ragged women, you in a coat of blood red, and shoes as red as the blood you dragged me through, and Trojan earrings as bold and vulgar as your bovine passions, dangling among your curls, ash smoked and chamomile into unnatural blondness. What bribes and blackmails have kept you in comfort here, where I thought to leave you all this intolerable night to show contempt for you? I thought to find you, hoped to find you shuddering, frigid and frightened, lice-infested, thin, wrapped in some bloody mantle from dead Paris, that which is issue, you talked into taking you here. Through what treachery came you by these comforts?
Husband, I have many friends in Troy who hated this dreadful war and brought me comforts. Offerings really to you, to show you honor by keeping me safe and happy. Indeed, I can't think why this whole dreadful war was necessary. When the people of Troy praised and adored me, wept when I'd walk above them, flinging me flowers, wishing me back with you and safe at home.
The people of Troy longed for your restoration?
They wished me happiness. They said their happiness was in my wishes. What could that mean but that they wished fulfillment of my wish to see you?
If this was true, not that I'd ever believe it, then why did you stay for 10 long years with Paris?
Oh, I don't know. You know, it must be because this woman and her husband insisted I stay to please their spoiled Prince Darling.
You bitch. With every breath I wished you gone.
Then why did you never plead for me with your husband? Or why, when you did plead for my death, did you not consider in instead that my death or my staying here, which were the same misery, husband, would bring this 10 years' tumult on your people.
Monster! Your happiness with my lovely Paris was legendary. You walked with him past our towers, waving and smiling, singing and blowing kisses.
And what would you do to me if I had opened the hot tears in my heart and cried out, save me? I would have disappeared then altogether, locked in the palace. I know it. Husband, help me. Silence this woman. Take Helen back to Sparta.
Menelaus, do not believe this fiction. Hold to your first resolve. Wipe out this monster.
Helen, these blandishments are unavailing. Strumpet you are, adulterous whore of Paris, willful estrangee from your lawful husband, fugitive in the contract of your marriage, and perjurer now to add to all your crimes. Helen, you are condemned for these malefactions to be taken now before my generals and stoned.
Before your generals?
Yes.
You mean before my suitors?
Yes.
Before the army that I've conquered for you?
You conquered for me. You take claim for my power?
Oh, what were you but Agamemnon's brother? Not winner, but inheritor of your kingdom. Sitting back and piling up your income while Agamemnon and all the others, warriors, protected us and so increased your power. Until the day I chose you for my husband, what legendary feat had you accomplished? And then all my competing suitors ready to join in war against my winner were by whose smiles persuaded rather, husband, to join in courtly union as your allies, sworn to forever guard fair Helen's husband, to show their true and knightly fealty to me by swearing to come when you should call for power.
If I was so weak, why out of them all did you choose me?
Oh, husband, can you doubt I must have loved you?
Menelaus, her traps are obscenely obvious. Murder her now before you are sunk in her bosom.
Quiet, both of you! Then, what are those very warriors arrayed and waiting for us, waiting in this smoking sun in armor at my command to see your horrible formal obviation?
My husband, with me dead, their bond was broken, and they must no longer follow. Menelaus.
Oh, God, Menelaus, you stand there as she pins you.
Do you think they will follow me if I do not avenge them?
You think they will follow a king who kills a woman?
They follow a king who brings them fame and treasure.
They follow the king who takes the treasure home.
If I give in, they'll think me weak and stupid.
Clever enough to win me. Clever enough to take him back. Clever enough to listen to me, husband. Warriors love romance, not stirring tragedy. Menelaus, he claims his Helen, saves his woman, erases enemies, holds sway over heroes. Oh, Menelaus, I dream so of this moment.
Dreamed of it in my pretty princess bed!
Husband, make her silence that nightmare vision.
Oh, Helen. This is too grave to be decided in a hasty moment. Go back to the camp. Your women are waiting for you. Then I will come and punish.
Yes, Menelaus. Do go before me to your commanding forces. Tell them I come behind you like a slave. Tell them what you will. You just might tell them that if they would lay blame for my transgression, my loathsome crime, which has climaxed in empire for the Greeks, they might start blaming the source of life, the goddess Aphrodite. She made me lovely, lovely enough that they all wished to win me, lovely enough that she could offer up me to her fond favorite Paris as the most desirable woman of all time, and blame Athena, jealous of my beauty, who hypnotized the men of Troy and made them, perhaps against their wishes, cling to me. Oh, blame the very power of Troy Apollo, whose favor gave foolhardy confidence to Paris, Hector, Priam, famous warriors whose overthrow you now are famous for. Blame any power, mortal or immortal, before, by stoning her for being helpless to all men. You suggest a wanton woman had power to rule you like an act of God for one whole decade and send vast powers into ruinous war. But, not much will, of course. I wonder, today, both forward and backward-looking men might want the homeward voyage to examine all facets of a complex situation. I wouldn't know. I am only a grateful woman, content to be delivered to Greek justice. I'll go, my love, before you see me cry.
Crying? Why are you crying? Do you fear me?
Fear you? The conqueror of the Trojan power? Oh, who would not when you work your will on thousands?
You've confused the whole issue. I leave you now to join my generals. God knows what I'll tell them.
Oh, God knows what he will.
Helen, you piece of pus! You are a groveling line slave who will never be any greater.
A slave who knows she's a slave can rule her master. A slave who believes she's a queen will be beaten and broken.
Now, if there are gods, they have brought this into being.
If there are not, I would not fool with earthly powers. And if you think that the Greeks are fools, Great Mother, remember what men began this war, and fought it no matter what cost of orphanage or starvation it brought to their children and women. If any shrine of patriotic ardor still warms your heart before you insulted Helen, let this last thought stifle your joy forever. The men of Greece do not make war alone. All men are the same. Yours fought for Helen, too.
Listen to it pound against my walls. I must endure this insignificant drumming if I choose to endure. But must I choose? Cassandra said I'd die on Trojan soil. Did she mean that these shanks will not support me to those gay planks thrust out now like wolves' tongues? Or anywhere that I stand still is Troy? You, woman, come. I see that soldier running that looked on you with longing twice today.
Here now, all of you, come now! It's all been decided! The wooden ships of the Greeks are pulling like ponies, snapping the riding rope to 10 years bondage! All of you now!
Soldier, soldier, look into my eyes. I am a woman. I am full of love. I can make your life as great as kings.
Come on. Don't force me to be rough. All of you now, come line up. Follow me.
Get it all? Woo. Yeah, I think so. Won't know for sure.
This is my friend Helen.
Hi, Peter.
Yeah. Mine.
Oh, I know.
Mine. We're all
Oh, it's a nice swamp. How you doing? I don't congratulate me. I had nothing to do with it. Oh, hello. How are you?
Hello.
All right, well, fine. Fuck you, too.
Well, it's the tape comes out. Tape comes out, we have to take it down.
That's always more work than it should be.
What?
I'll be right back.
Sure.
You're not in anything, right?
Not? Yeah, you in anything anywhere else?
No, I'm working. Sure. It's only well, actually, a lot of
When the news happens. When the news happens. Yeah.
I'm going to try to schedule a reasonable release of someone. Now how you doing to your second place?
It's gonna be my house.
I would think it was very good. It was really good. Every once in a while I saw it. When I was young, almost all the audience showed there.
I was doing
No, he did very
Good.
Yeah, well, we're very cautious.
We'll lock everything up tonight.
Seats here, and got short sitting down there. And I moved 3 or 4 of the audience. Poor Peter, I treated him just like the pariah one generally should in theater, but just little separate seat off there in your own section.
Bob, do you know Kim? I forgot your last name.
Smile, we'll get you on table. You're gonna so run.
Yeah, listen, let me get your number so I can write you.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have a pen?
Anybody got a pen?
Oh, good.
But everybody's phone. Bob, I want you to come too. I'm gonna read it if you want to ask them to work on anything.
If it's really important, I'll find it.
I love the one I saw.
Thank you for coming. Where are you? A lot.
There's like a level for kids that they would never relate to that. The parent of that knowledge, you might think your choice is your heart. How do you want it?
Carol, Terry, 3218. Where's Terry?
Well, I just let's play that now. I got to gather up the rest of mine. Yeah. I just got it.
Carol?
Yes.
I was seeing Terry out there. Could you bring me back?
Sure. I'm just like,
smack you around a little bit.
I miss her.
Went down, it was like a real table.
We do look our hands.
And I want to see your beauty. No, actually, but like probably tomorrow in the morning I'm going to I like this. Hi, Peter. How you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna go and dip on just a little bit. You gotta let the ladies hang up their clothes.
I guess hello.
I'm not going up to change my clothes first.
Thank you.
What's that? Oh, thank
He was a
you.
good audience member.
I do like frescoes and faded wrap.
Enigmatic was what I
Jerry in yet?
Don't know.
Don't know. Trying to get all 5 of the cast together for ready to rush it. Thank you, Kevin.
So, how is it that I'm required to leave now?
Thank y'all for coming.
A little old cow. Oh, wait, Steve.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, Harold's number?
I got Harold's number.
You got it at home?
I got it at home.
Okay, you call and ask Harold.
Give us a call by 6 o'clock or so tomorrow night. We'll be home for certain. And Harold will be at the place anyway.
Oh,
Harold will be at Harold will be at the apartment place.
okay, I'll call tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what I think about it.
Yeah.
Up the fire stairs.
Be gentle. That's the set.
Yeah.